Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people are mourning a former mayor of Corbin who dedicated his work to help those who needed it most. In the Floyd County Sheriff's Department, deputies need your help identifying a man accused of stealing a catalytic converter. Plus, a Kentucky man faces charges related to several burglaries, but his mother says she does not want others to judge him because he suffers from mental illness.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 4:59 on January 6th. I'm Madison Program, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. On this Monday morning, if you're waking up, grabbing your coffee, it's a little chilly outside. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, it's a little cold outside. So people need to have their jackets prepared. It's also cold in here.
Exactly. It's back to school day for a lot of folks across the region today, too. So watch out for those school buses this morning. But a beautiful day ahead. Not so much, though, for the tomorrow, next day. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on currently outside the WYMT studios here in Hazard. Things are fairly quiet this morning. Clear skies, not even cloud cover. That's allowed some of us to drop into the upper 20s this morning. A lot of folks there, kind of a Ridge Valley split there. 34 Hazard, 30 in London, 27 Monticello, a pair of 28s, Middlesboro and Jacksboro, but 40 in Prestonsburg and close to it there in Pikeville. Winds are starting to come out of the north and to the northwest, so we're going to continue to watch that trend today. That's going to pull some cooler air in here overnight, and of course, I'm sure you've probably heard about some of the models floating around. We'll talk about those in a little bit, but for this morning, let's focus on today. A little extra as we head into the coffee mater this morning, just because it's Monday and the temperatures are a little bit on the cooler side. We'll see out the door forecast taking us up into the mid to upper 40s this afternoon under sunny skies. Some big changes on the way as we head into the nighttime hours. I'll have more on that here in just a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, on Thursday, former Corbin Mayor and Recreational Director Amos Miller died at the age of 78. Miller served as a Recreation Director for more than 2 decades. As mayor, he was instrumental in helping the city of Corbin move forward. His son, Sam Miller, says he never had a problem sharing his dad with others.
He had that unique ability that, he could say whatever he wanted to say, whether it was good or bad, whether you wanted to hear it or not. Because you knew he loved you.
His visitation was last night at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Corbin, and the funeral will also be at the church today at 1 p.m. And we now know more about the deadly crash in Perry County that happened on Saturday. Officials from Kentucky State Police say a woman was hit by a car near the IGA in Happy. She was identified as 54-year-old Kathy Spencer. Officials say she was walking along Kentucky 15 when the car hit her. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and no charges are expected to be filed in relation to the crash. And WR Castle Fire and Rescue responded to a crash Sunday morning outside the home of Assistant Chief Robert Hamilton. The crash happened on Kentucky Route 558 in Johnson County, and the Assistant Chief found that 2 people were injured and trapped inside the car. Officials say the car had left the roadway and struck a culvert. Crews removed both doors from the vehicle and assisted EMS in removing them both. They were transported to local medical facilities for treatment of their injuries. And Interstate 64 in Woodford County was shut down part of Sunday after a semi-fire. According to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, the fire happened near mile marker 58, close to the Versailles Frankfort exit. The fire has now been knocked down and the road is back open. Officials say the truck driver pulled over when his tire blew out. There were no injuries reported in the incident. And administrators at Woodford County High School are investigating after someone wrote a racial slur on a window of a car belonging to the school's head girls basketball coach. Eric Daniels, who was a UK basketball player from 2000 to 2004, was named head coach of the Yellow Jackets back in June. He also teaches at the school, and someone wrote the slur in moisture on his back windshield. Officials say police are already looking at video from nearby surveillance cameras to find out who is responsible for writing it. And officials from Laurel County Sheriff's Office say deputies arrested a man early Sunday morning. Deputies say they pulled over 55-year-old Glenn Asher of Stinnett. When searching his car, they found pills in a bottle with no prescription. Officials said Asher was also under the influence, and while being processed at the sheriff's office, deputies found a cut on Asher's finger. And after further investigation, deputies found blood and a glass pipe stuffed down in the rear seat of a police cruiser. And officials from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say deputies arrested a woman Friday afternoon after she shoplifted from a Dollar General. Officials say 52-year-old Angela Blevins of East Bernstadt had apparently left her cell phone at the Dollar General after stealing large amounts of makeup. Blevins returned to the store to get her cell phone, and she was there when deputies arrived. Officials say the investigation showed Blevins was also under the influence. In Floyd County Sheriff's Department, deputies need your help identifying a man accused of stealing a Cadillac converter. It happened in the McDowell community, and police say a man spent around 1 hour jacking a vehicle up to cut the part off. This part can be sold from anywhere between $50 and $300. Deputy Landon Hall says the converter is not the only thing the man stole.
While he was cutting the converter, they discovered 2 surveillance cameras on the home. He had stopped what he was doing, and he went and grabbed both the cameras off the sides of the house. Little did he know the victim had a hidden 3rd camera.
The metals inside the part is what makes the piece so expensive, and if you have any information who the man in the surveillance footage may be, you can contact the Floyd County Sheriff's Department at 606-886-6711. And officials with Horse Creek Community Fire and Rescue in Clay County are searching for 2 people. They say shortly before 2 o'clock Sunday morning, 2 people broke into the fire station. Video shows them crawling through a hole in the outer and inner walls of the building. And if you or someone you know has any information as to who the 2 people are, you're asked to contact either Clay County Dispatch or the Clay County Sheriff's Office. And a Northern Kentucky man faces charges related to several burglaries, but his mother says she does not want others to judge him because he suffers from mental illness. Police say Jason Connerman burglarized 4 homes and stole a truck from one of them, but his mother says that's not the Jason she knows. She says he was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 21. Now at 37, it's something he's still struggling to get a hold of. She didn't feel comfortable showing her face on camera.
Locking him away in some prison, and he'll never get the help. That's not fair.
A homeowner of one of the burglarized houses stopped Connerman, and investigators say that homeowner held him at gunpoint until deputies arrived. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, a deadly crash involving a passenger bus and multiple other vehicles on the Pennsylvania Turnpike left at least 5 dead and dozens injured.
It's going to be a back-and-forth ride to start the first full week of 2020. I'll tell you what we could see in the next 36 hours in about 3 minutes.